Now this scene right here is the money shot for some people. It's the
More likes, please!
Hello everyone and welcome to this reaction video for Easy Mill's Panalo performance on Wish Plus USA. So first up, I would just like to say a quick thank you to this person right here for suggesting this thing for me to react to.
You smart, you loyal, I appreciate that.
And as you've probably seen in the title of this video, we're going to discuss a timely topic today as well, which is something that is very dear to me both as a Filipino as well as a content creator as well, and it's something that we like to call as Pinoy baiting. So what is Pinoy baiting, you might ask? Well, according to Urban Dictionary, Pinoy baiting is a YouTube marketing strategy that targets Filipinos for real quick YouTube views and followers, usually to my Koreans and American bloggers, due to their awareness of Filipinos worshipping something about America or South Korea or something like that, I don't know. But before we dive into that, I would just like to point out that I am not better or in any way on a higher moral ground compared to these people that I'll be involving here. I mean, the fact that I'm making this video is proof of that. So what I'll be doing here is to basically present both sides of the argument and just let you guys make your own judgment out of the topic. Is it exploitative in nature or is it fair and it's just simply how it is? And for a semblance of structure, I'm going to be reacting to this song first and then we're going to discuss it afterwards. So yeah, and before we begin, please do not forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell down below so that you guys will be able to stay updated for my future videos. And if you guys would like me to react to anything else, just songs, music videos, music albums, stuff like that, just feel free to comment it down below as well and I'll try to do it for you. And yeah, without any further ado, let's just go listen to it. So again, this is Easy Mill's Panalo performance on Wish Plus USA Live. There's already 16 million views in here already. That's a lot of people.
That's what I'm trying to prove. Said it just lying in the boots. First true Filipino rapper on the news.
Yo, first true Filipino rapper? I don't know. Maybe I'm just being petty.
My cousin was sick, but we always just listen to rap. Kendrick, I'm an ASAP with some metal and mammy, we turn up with that.
Well, he's got some dope music taste. I can't argue with that, really.
Hey, I've been in Spain, but the letter S is silent.
Now that's edgy as fuck!
There should be like an Instagram quote or like an Instagram joke at best. Shouldn't be using that. If you look it up online, there's like tons of Cariñosa remixes way before this song dropped. I mean, even though his concept in here is not new, his execution in here is pretty great, I'm not gonna lie.
Kung inakala mong isang lingwahe lang kaya gamitin ni easy, may laka mapapala ko ganyan ka mag-isip kay bathala kasi sa loob na lumutang hinain sa turon na may pusang sinain sa...
Yo, what? I mean, I don't know, if you're not Filipino and you don't really speak the language, with his cadence as well as his flow in here, you might say that he's like rapping some great bars or like some great lines in here. I don't know, maybe he's like trying to pull a metaphor, like a simile in here, but just doesn't make sense to me. Inside the turon, there's like a cooked cat. Like, is that what he's trying to say here? I don't know. Now this scene right here is the money shot for some people. It's the
More likes, please!
saying how they can feel his passion for his country.
Proud na Pilipino ako! Proud na ako maging Pilipino! Bakit ako naiyak?
Or how they can feel his emotion while rapping.
Bro, he gave me chills. I feel his rage.
But this is the part where it gets a little technical, you know what I'm saying? See, when you're performing something, whether you're like a musician or like an artist or something like that, there's like a concept that we like to call showmanship. So it's basically like being sad when you're like singing a sad song, or like acting like you're in love with the other person that you're duetting when you're like singing a love song together. It's an essential part of the performance is what I'm saying. And yeah, I mean, as a performer, you really got that aspect down in here, and I could really see some people that's going to be genuinely swayed by this.
Tisoy, ay tisoy, I'm Pinoy. It's where the...
I mean, he's like the only Filipino person that I've heard say that. I mean, on the tons of like whitening products that are being shipped in there, being sold across like multiple markets and stuff like that. I don't know if this is like a factor of like us being colonized by Americans back in the day. I mean, if you're in the Philippines, the majority or like the consensus of the people in there is gonna be like, if you're white or like you have like white skin or like a light skin, you're basically like up there when it comes to like physical appearance. You're basically good looking or something like that. I mean, there's also gonna be like attractive fair skins in the Philippines as well. I think we call them morenos or like morenas or something like that. Although to be fair, there's also gonna be some people in there that's gonna say like,
oh, you're not pretty, or like, you're not handsome, you're just...
I don't know, you tell me.
Nobody will ever look at me the same way. Gonna make it all the time for the resume. Says and another na ako na mula pa ni pinugutan sila po sa mga...
I don't think that one's an accurate lyric. So according to historians and their accounts, Lapu-Lapu wasn't beheaded by one of the oppositions or like the camp or like the side of Magellan in this battle back in the past in Cebu or something, and that he went on to live on his older days with his family and stuff like that. I mean, even though it does fit great with kind of like the rhyme scheme of the song here, I don't know, it's just not that accurate. Yeah, it's pretty dope, I'm not gonna lie. I'll give it up. I mean, aside from the historical inaccuracy in one of his lyrics in this song, it's still pretty dope overall. Could definitely see this when Gilas Pilipinas kind of like makes their entrance on their basketball game, or like Manny Pacquiao represents the Philippines once again in the boxing arena or something like that. I mean, it's a pretty great track about like making people hype about them being Filipinos and all of that stuff. And yeah, I mean, I could also see some influences from like Eminem when it comes to his cadences and his flows in this song, so that's pretty cool as well. Aside from like Manila Grey, as well as the rise of Olivia Rodrigo, Easy Mills was also like one of these few artists that I've heard of that's like Filipino and also grows their fan base outside mainly of the Philippines, which is pretty dope. And yeah, I mean, aside from like the minor nitpickings here and there, it's a pretty dope track overall. I mean, he's still growing, he's still evolving both as a musician as well as a person as well. I mean, all that I'm hoping for is that he does not pander to the Filipino audience and he just keeps doing his own thing. I mean, people really appreciate that kind of authenticity and you get a more solid, more stable fan base that way as it continues to grow. So yeah, all the best to him. And yeah, so with that out of the way, we're gonna talk about Pinoy baiting now. So as opposed to this practice, the main argument is that it's pretty manipulative in nature. I mean, it takes advantage for Filipinos' need for global validation. Now, unless the Filipino or the Filipino personality has a large following already, I feel like it tends to be more effective whenever foreigners do it. I mean, I feel like it makes us Filipinos proud to be one when we are being acknowledged by them, but when we're not, the sense of pride kind of like goes away or like becomes passive or like disappears or something like that. I mean, it's like when your Filipino parents would more likely brag about you to their friends or their relatives or the foreigners in this example, rather than just directly saying it to your face, which is going to be the international famous Filipino artist or something like that, especially when they're not as famous or as successful at that point, but you get the gist. And I feel like the reason why Pinoy baiting is so effective is because us Filipinos have little or few achievements as a collective unit, so which is why when a successful Filipino pops up, we tend to be proud with them as well, even though we didn't really train with them or grind with them or failed with them for numerous amounts of times. I mean, they literally just happen to have the same nationality as us. You know what I mean? It's basically when like you could see channels that are mostly all about like foreigners react to like Filipino something, Filipino singers, like Filipino boxers, like that sort of stuff. You'd be able to see it.
What? Is this for real?
I mean, if this isn't Pinoy baiting, like, what is at this point? You know what I mean? It's like Filipino singers and like Filipino dancers, like Filipino athletes. I mean, Pinoy baiting is effective, like, we can really see that, and it works, and it gets money and all of that stuff, so yeah. Which brings me to the other side of things. As a content creator myself, there is always going to be a point where your videos are going to get monetized, and that could potentially become your main source of income. So when that happens, there will always be a tendency where the reaction channels will use whatever strategies that has been proven to work in order to grow their channel, which in turn will also be able to grow their source of income as well. And when let's face it, I mean, we all have bills to pay, we gotta eat. And the concept that exists in business is that they are there to solve problems or like meet needs on the market. So the only reason why, in theory, Pinoy baiting works is because it meets Filipinos' needs to be validated by people from other countries. And unless Filipinos could be proud of themselves as well as their own country without these other foreign reaction channels telling them what to feel or like what to do in their videos, Pinoy baiting isn't gonna go anywhere, to be honest. But granted, there are always going to be exceptions to this rule. I mean, maybe the viewer is a fan of the reaction channel or a fan of the artist, or maybe they're just being curious as to like what the video is all about. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, whether these YouTube channels succeed or not solely depends on their viewers, depending on how well they've been informed about a topic or something, or how well they've been entertained, or to simply reinforce their pre-existing beliefs or feelings about something. So yeah, that marks the end of this video. Thank you guys for reaching this far into the video. Hope that you guys learned something at least, if not entertained. I don't know. Please leave a like if you've enjoyed it so that I'll know. And please once again do not forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell down below so that you guys will be able to stay updated from future videos. And if you guys would like me to react to anything else, just comment it down below as well. I'll try to do it for you. And if you guys agreed or disagreed on some things that I've said here, feel free to comment it down below as well. I'll try to keep an open mind. Just try to keep it civil down there, will ya? And if you guys would like to watch my other reaction videos, just click these ones right here. So good, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.